Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of SevTech Ages. Today we are going to go to the moon, dang it. I wanted to do that last episode, we got a little sidetracked with all the pneumatic craft stuff, but today I have everything pretty much ready to go here. So in order to do this, we are going to need a couple more machines from the Galacticraft stuff, as well as a spacesuit and a rocket. But to get everything going, we also need the production of kerosene, which we were going to set up to start trading, but I decided to sell the oil instead. But it looks like we actually need another one of these things. So let's go ahead and build this. We can then start funneling our diesel on over to it. I'll connect that in a minute. We just need to run a pipe on over to it. But from there, we also need to take that kerosene and the oxygen that we're going to be producing and put it into a refiner. So we have a refiner down already, and we're going to be producing our fuel in this. So those are two of the main machines that we needed. I don't think we need anything else other than the Galacticraft stuff here. So if we plop our helmet back on and we press the right button, we can take all of our metal out of this thing, and we should have just about everything ready to go here. So let me move on over to that mod and we can start crafting up all of the stuff that we need. Hey, before we get into today's episode, I have a favor to ask. If you guys have a minute or two to spare, I'm going to have an unlisted video linked down in the description below. It's going to be a quick minute or two audio test to see which mic capture sounds better to you guys here on YouTube. To my own ears, I hear a very, very slight difference between the two of them, but I would love to have some feedback on the matter here. So if you guys do have a chance, I would really appreciate it. But let's go ahead and jump back into today's episode. So first things first here, we're going to need an oxygen collector. So that is going to be some compressed steel, an oxygen vent, which we have the stuff to make. So let's do 3 of those. I feel like we're going to need 3 of them. I've taken a look at a lot of the recipes already, and I kind of feel like we have everything ready to go here. If not, then we're just going to go ahead and make all 5 of these fans. Whether or not we need them, I will just deal with it. We had the gears of the Invar stuff, so that's fine. For this guy, we are going to need the tin cans, so I'm not going to do that many. Let's just do 14 for right now. We'll adjust that as we need it. Let's get this back open. We're going to need a couple of these, so let's do 3, sure. And then we should be able to craft this thing, which we can't because we don't have these things now. So let me get a couple more of those put together. Let me just chuck that on the floor for 2 seconds. That's fine. Let's get this. We need one of you. All right. What was the other thing that we needed as well? A fuel loader. So that is going to be this guy. Oh, okay. I need to do some copper. I don't have that compressed down just yet. I also need to throw together some of these guys again, which we have the stuff to do that, so that's not really an issue. And as far as the circuit boards go, we should also have a few of those crafted because I have just had our machine kind of running and producing a couple here and there. So, also I moved all this stuff down here, by the way. So it's all squeezed down here. It's pretty nice. We have one ready to go. Or actually, do we need to put this through the process? Yeah, we do. We need to make these guys as well. Okay, so let me throw one of those together and then get our copper sorted as well. And we should be pretty good to go. Ooh, you know what? Hold on. Before I forget about it, we have everything that we need to actually get our rocket put together as well. So we're going to need a bunch of this heavy-duty metal, which requires us to put through our plates and crush them on into heavy plating. So I'm going to set that in motion as well once we get our copper done. So let me jump back over to base and get everything kind of situated here. Alrighty, well I have all of the metals hopefully here to get everything up and running. So we're going to need 4 of the rocket fins. So let's get 4 of those put together. We're also going to need the main engine. So let's get one of those put together. And I think that was, oh actually we need one of these guys as well. So we need one of those and that should be everything. So if we click on this, can we just shift it in? We cannot. Okay, well, let's put that there. Let's plot these guys there, over there, and then we have these guys in the middle, and that is going to give us a tier 1 rocket. Is there anything else that we need? No, these ones are empty up there. Okay, so let's get that thing put together. We're also going to need a launch pad. So we should actually... Nope, that's all iron stuff. Okay, that's not too bad. I can get that thrown together real quickly here. But before I start messing around with that stuff, because I keep seeming to miss crafting recipes here, so that's my bad, I do have everything kind of set in motion on this side. Is that a creeper? That was not a creeper. Okay, anyways, we have this thing up and running. We just need to turn the switch on and turn the switch on to this one as well so that we have diesel being produced. There we go. This guy should be receiving diesel, which it's currently not. So I wonder if I mixed up the pipes. I feel like I did, because that should have some diesel in it. These guys don't have anything in them, so I feel like I did indeed mix up the pipe. Yeah, because that's still, oh, actually, no, this is running. Oh, yeah, there we go. We got diesel coming in now. Okay, so the kerosene is immediately going into the machine that's in there. We have our gasoline getting stored in some barrels for right now. I didn't really feel like building out a tank just to store all this stuff, so for right now, temporarily, we got it going into some barrels. And then on this side, we have our lubricant getting stored up as well. So for right now, that should work. And this is going to run. We might have to turn on our generator because it kind of looks like that thing over there is bouncing around on power consumption, although we're kind of good there. So this should get kerosene. It is indeed. I'm going to let this thing run until this is pretty much full, I think, because I don't think we're going to need that much fuel to get to the moon, hopefully, and then I guess we'll see if we do, but we're going to let that run for a little bit, and then this needs to also start generating some of the oxygen for us. So if I remember correctly from back in the day, a while ago when I used this mod, we just need to surround this with some trees, and then it should start pulling air. We also need to provide it power, which... let me power... that might be the PowerPoint, huh? Looks like the PowerPoint. We'll see. We're going to pull a cable over to it, see if maybe this is going to run. Hopefully it does. And then we can see if this is going to start pulling anything. It's not getting any power. So, oh, yeah, we got power going to it. Okay, yep. Let me not die to this. I did die in between episodes. I think in between, before last episode, I died rearranging our power cables in there. And it was not great. So let's try on the side here. I don't really know which side we should be plugging into. It's green, so I imagine that's the good side. And there we go. Cool. That is working. It's not generating oxygen super slow. I thought it was going to be a lot slower than that, but that should actually be kind of fine. I'm still going to surround this with some trees for right now. This is another one of those crudely little temporary thingamabobbers we're going to throw together here. But now... we need that oxygen coming out of this and going into the thing over there. So if this is actually going to work without having to have trees around it, we are going to move this actually, because the less distance we need to move it to power the thing over here, the better that'll be for us. We could also just build up a second one if we do need it, because it's not super expensive. So right here is where it's going to be. Let me see. I should be able to plop it down here and have it feed the thingy. So if we plop it there, we got red on this side. I don't know if this is going to pull the air out of it, and I lined that up perfectly. Yeah, that was great. But anyways, there we go. Let's plug this in, and then we need a power cable going into the back of this one as well, which that is not a power cable we can pull from. Oh, dang it. Okay. You know what? We might just go ahead and wiggle a cable down here. I'm going to plug it in real quick. All right, so hopefully that's going to work. We are pulling air again. That is fantastic. So let's see if that's actually going into this guy, which it is not. Okay, maybe there's one more step to actually compressing this down, because it's making oxygen, it's just not currently outputting. We might, honestly, we'll try and use the fluid hopper thing that we have available to us as well. That might be how we pull from it. We'll see here in 2 seconds. Alrighty, well, there we go. We have this thing pulling the oxygen out of the machine, so that's great. It's going into the pipe. Is it going into our machine, though? It sure is. Okay, cool. So what I'm going to do next is actually plop down a barrel or two so that we can start storing up some of the fuel. fuel that this is going to be producing. And I also need to plug this into the system, which I haven't done yet, which I didn't do on accident. So let's plug that there, and then we can do one of these, if I could reach it. There we go. Is that dangerous? Is that going to shock us? I kept getting tased every time I came out of our elevator. I tried to put it in the middle of the room, and I kept hitting when we had the cables going over. So I had to move everything to the side, and it seems to be working right now, so that's fine. And let's just go ahead and swap this on. And that is very fast. Okay. Our oxygen cannot keep up. Our kerosene is probably also not going to be really able to keep up either. But that should be fine. I'm going to let this process through for a little bit so that we have some fuel on hand so that we can actually, launch today and not stress out of trying to launch with 5,000 fuel there. But give me a few minutes and we should be taking off here in 2 seconds. Alrighty, well, I do want to apologize real quick for the episode being late. I mismanaged my recording time last week and it really came back to bite me very hard. So my bad about that. We're aiming for Wednesday or Thursday for this episode to go out. So hopefully it's not super duper late, but we did indeed miss Tuesday. So my bad about that. But anyways, we left off on gathering up some more of our material here to gather our last remaining things that we needed. So we need a fuel loader and the spacesuit as well as the launch pad. But I also think we need one more thing that the game is not telling us that we need, which is the oxygen setup here. So we're going to be crafting a lot of things here. First things first here, though, we need to get one of our spacesuit helmets up and running, which I think I don't have that stuff made. I could have sworn I set all that in motion, but I did not. Okay. We do have the material to do this, though. It's just a bunch of aluminum to get some of those guys going. We need some lead and wool for those ones, and then some wool and these guys. So we have a whole lot of material ready to go. We just need to get those things put together. So while we wait, we can take some of this. I don't think we need that much of it, but we'll do a stack of it like that. That's going to process through. And while that's going, we can go ahead and craft up our other stuff here. So I'm not 100% sure on whether or not we actually need the oxygen compressor, but we are going to make one of them. Hopefully, right? We have a collector and a compressor, so that's cool. We also need the mask, which is some iron plates. Let me get one of those. We can make the helmet real quick. Kapow. We can then use that to make the mask. And I think we need one of these as well, which is the oxygen gear. So right now we don't have one of these guys. Let's get one of those. And then for the other stuff, which are these, we need some of those as well. And that's going to give us our oxygen mask. So I think with those, we just go into this menu and we can plop them on. We can also have a parachute, which I don't honestly know if that's going to be important or not because we're going to the moon. And it doesn't have an atmosphere, so I don't think a parachute's going to really work, but we can craft one of those as well here. It's not really expensive. But the other thing that we need as well is oxygen tanks. So I'm not going to make these little ones because these only store 900, and I honestly don't know how long that is going to last us once we're on the moon. So instead, what we're going to do is actually make the biggest ones that we have available currently. I don't know if they get any bigger, but we're going to go with these ones. Hopefully this isn't an issue, but we only need 3 wool, 3 of the buckets or the canisters, and then 3 compressed steel as well. So we can have 2 of those on our back at one time. I think what I'm going to do is actually make 3 of them, or maybe 4 of them, just so that we can be up there for a long time without having to worry about getting more air while we're up there, hopefully. So that's what we're going to do. And to do that, we have a bunch of wool already made. I've been shearing my sheep a whole bunch. And yeah, hopefully we have enough to get these 3 buckets going, or the 4 air tanks. Can't keep track of what I'm doing, but we have that. We need to compress more of it down, which is fine. So you know what? Before we actually get to that, there was one other thing that we needed. We needed the launch pad. So we're going to do, let's do 2 of them right now, because I don't know if it takes it with us when we take off. And I'm pretty sure we're going to need one when we lift off from the moon to come back here. So that way we can have that on us. We'll plop 9 of them there. We'll have the other 9 with us when we launch this rocket here in a second. And then there was another thing that we needed to craft with the logic stuff. Was it the fuel loader? It was indeed the fuel loader. There we go. So let's get that crafted as well. And I think we are pretty much ready to advance the age. I didn't realize that's what we were doing. So that is great. I'm going to make the rest of the items that we need for our spacesuit, which, again, I thought I had crafted, but apparently I did not. So it's not going to take too long here. We'll have this thing up and running in 2 seconds. All right, well, I think we are good to go here. So let's get our chest piece crafted, our pants crafted, and last but not least, our boots. And then we need to go ahead and upgrade all of those as well, which there that goes. This one goes. This also didn't take too long to get put together. I thought we were going to be compressing a bunch of stuff down, but it was actually just generic leather plates. It wasn't compressed leather plates. So that worked out in our favor pretty nicely there. Anyways, now that we have that stuff made, we can plop it on. Oh, we can't plop it on there. Do we plop it there? Oh, no. Okay, that's unfortunate. I was really hoping it would go here. I don't know what goes in that section. I thought it was this stuff, but apparently not. We also need to find a way of charging this stuff now because it holds 30,000 power, which we don't have a charging station, but it looks like Galacticraft might have a way of charging this thing. So let's go ahead and throw one of these together as well. We only need 3 batteries, and that is that. And does this have a UI? It does indeed. Look at that. Okay. So we can plug this into our main system, start charging our armor up, or our spacesuit up, and then we should be pretty good to go. The other thing that we need to craft still is the oxygen tanks, but I'll go ahead and throw those things together real quick, and then we can hopefully fill them up with either the thing that we have down right now, or we need to plop down the compressor that we just crafted to be able to have that stuff fill up our tanks as well. Okay, well, we got everything charged up and ready to go here. So let's swap all of our Tinker armor off for that. And I also charged up our air tanks, but it says that we can't use them until stage 5, which should trigger immediately once we land on the moon. So I'm not really worried about that too much. So hopefully that's the case. I'm going to leave all of our armor here because, yeah, I'll leave it here just in case we die. I don't want to be out of armor here on the overworld, so if I can get out the door. Right now, we're also just going to plop this thing down right here. Hopefully, it doesn't have any damage to the surrounding area because that would be kind of bad, but let's plop that there. And, okay, that didn't complete the advancement. That's good. Let's plop this guy. Nope, we need to have this thing facing that, I do believe. All right, I think that's how we want that. That's good. Let's get this thing powered on, and then I need to fill this up with the fuel, which right now, I don't know how we get these guys, the little fuel canisters. I can't see a way of crafting that. So what we can do instead, because we have a bunch of these barrels full of the fuel already, is just take some of these and plop them on the machine, and hopefully they drain into the machine. So if they don't, then I have to figure out something else we can do, which that doesn't look like it's draining, so that's not great. Okay, I think I figured it out here. The side of it is where we input the fuel, so we are not receiving any power, which isn't this the power side? Oh, no, wrong thing. Let me break this properly there, and maybe let me just see if I can run power to it off the side potentially, because I think that green is also. That's also not working. Huh. I feel like if I break this now, we're going to lose the fuel in it, so that's great on me. I didn't even check to make sure that we actually had power in there before I moved it around to get this to work. So let me try and figure out where we need to power this thing from. Alrighty, well, I can't exactly figure out how to charge this thing with any of our power cables, so I just went ahead and made a set of the batteries here, and hopefully one battery is enough to fuel this thing up completely. It doesn't look like it's going to take that much fuel. And this thing's still draining. Okay, so hopefully it doesn't need all 3 batteries. That would be not ideal here. So it doesn't seem like it's actually putting any more fuel into the rocket here. So it took 2 batteries and a little bit extra there. So I am going to charge up all of our batteries here, and we're going to launch. Hopefully We don't need the fuel loader. I am going to break it and take another barrel of fuel with us because I'd rather have fuel just in case we do actually need it. All right, well, here we go. There's not much else we have left to do here on the overworld, so let's go ahead and head on over to the moon here. We can check our fuel real quick, which we are full. That's good. We also had, what was that, WASD for movement. Yeah, okay, so we got launch, we got turns, and we've got turn. So I honestly cannot wait until we crash into the moon here in 2 seconds because this is going to go horribly wrong, but let's go ahead and launch. I don't have a parachute. Oh, yeah. Yep, I forgot all about that because if we manage to re-land here, then we die. How do I get out of this now? All right, there we go. I figured it out. All right, let me craft up a parachute real quick. That was my bad. I don't think we're missing anything else. And yeah, that is the only thing that I can think of that we are missing. So let me throw one together real quick. We should be good to go here. So let's go ahead and lift off. We've got a full 20-second countdown. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and just hopefully make it to the moon. And yeah, if we make it, that's good. If we don't, then we are going to have stuff stuck on the moon. Having to craft up another rocket's not hopefully going to be too difficult. We have a bunch of the plates already made. Most of the stuff is here on the base. The only thing that we're going to be losing is our backpacks. That is very loud. And I can probably kill ourselves, right? Yeah, I can turn. Okay, I don't want to do that. I really don't. But yeah, we are lifting off. That is pretty cool. What happens if we go back into this? It's just shaky McGee over there. Okay, we're not going to do that. And so far, so good, I think. Yeah, looks pretty good. Looks pretty good. There we go. It threw us into the galactic map. So we need to go to the moon, not to anywhere else. So let's click on this, and that should target the moon. And all we got to do is click on launch, and there we go. Cool. So we got to hold space to slow down. Where is our speed gauge? That is what I want to know. Velocity in the middle of our screen. Okay, so we are going 20 meters a second, 10 meters a second. How fast is too fast is the question. I don't know. We can't go any slower than 10, so I'm assuming that's going to be a safe speed here. We're landing on a moon village. Good. Let's just hold space. Oh, I feel like we're going very fast. Okay, there we go. Cool. We slowed way down. Nice. And we're not dying. That's good. That's great. We're also in a new age, so we can take a look at that now. Age 5. We have mechanism. Great. We have the Inferium Essence stuff. Mystical Agriculture. I like that mod. That is something I'm pretty familiar with. I don't know how difficult it's going to be in this mod in particular, but that might be something we mess around with as well. Alrighty, well anyways, I'm not going to mess around with any of these advancements here. Let's roam around on the moon and see if we can find a dungeon, because that is how we get access to a tier 2 rocket. So I guess in one way or another, we are going to mess around a little bit with this age, but I don't want to start completing, oh no, the advancements for this age. We got our stuff back. Okay, cool. I don't know if that rocket is going to have fuel in it, so I'm hopefully going to have the fuel to lift off again. If not, I have the fuel loader and stuff with me, so it's not really that big of an issue. I want to see what this guy had. Oh, there's 3 of them in here. I don't have a frequency thing to communicate with them. Oh, it also unlocked a whole bunch of Galacticraft stuff. Okay, that's pretty cool, but we need this thing now, which is... okay, basic wafer. Oh, yeah, that's not super difficult. So we could get that put together once we go back to the Earth here, but right now, not really something we can put together with the stuff that we have here. Anyways, though, let me jump around a little bit, see if maybe we can find a cave or something like that, or maybe some ore here on the surface. That would be ideal. So we got some copper right here. I'm pretty sure this is just generic copper, though. We have access to that on the overworld, so that's not really anything to rave about. Oh, I think I found some cheese here, so let's gather up a little bit of that. There's only 1 block of it. That's unfortunate. We got 2 of them, though, so that's cool. If we find any more of that would be great. I think some more is right there. Cool. I haven't seen any mobs yet. There is a couple red things on the minimap, though, so those should be mobs. That's tin. I'm not going to gather that. Let's see how well our throwing stars do on the moon, though. I'm kind of curious whether or not these actually work all that well. But that cave actually went nowhere, so that's great. Oh, this is kind of cool. We found a fallen meteorite, which we can't harvest with our pickaxe. We can harvest it with our hammer, so that's going to take a second, but we should be able to harvest this. All right, there we go. We got some raw meteoric iron, which is kind of similar to just normal iron, isn't it? Or does it go into other things? We can make a spin thruster. We can make some other stuff. I don't know if these are interchangeable with just normal iron, though. Which it doesn't look like it is. Okay, so we do want to gather up some of this stuff here because there are a couple recipes that we need it for. So we want to keep an eye out for those. That's good. And I think for right now, we're actually going to head back to the overworld because I'm kind of just running around aimlessly because we need one of the whatchamacallit things right here, the dungeon finders. So I'm going to head back to the overworld and maybe complete a couple more advancements while we're there. But we might as well grab this guy as well since it's right next to us. All right, anyways, let's go ahead and see if we have fuel. So, was it G? Oh, we have no fuel. Okay. I'm glad that I brought our stuff with us then because that could have been really bad. Alrighty, well, we are ready to go home, so let's go ahead and do that. We are fully fueled. I'm trying to find my window. Let's go ahead and lift back off. We should take the launch pad with us, right? That's what I did a second ago. But the flight home is going to be pretty much the same thing on the way here. We're just going to go up for a little bit and then eventually get thrown into that map view and get chucked at home. So let's see if we can survive the parachute re-landing, and hopefully it throws us on our base and we don't have to run for a little while to get back home. Oh, that's kind of cool. I don't know if this was here a second ago, but we can craft up a space station. So to do that, we need one advanced wafer and some tin, aluminum, and iron. So if we are able to craft up that, then that's really the only thing holding us up right now. So I'll see if that's the case. Maybe we can throw a space station up next episode. But let's go ahead and land on the overworld. And hopefully, like I said, the parachute actually saves us. Oh, okay. Oh, why are we going so fast? Oh my goodness. Okay. That was a little spooky, but we made it, so that's cool. Where are we, by the way? Why are we here and not spawn? Weird. Okay, that's fine. We're not super duper far away. I can just run back. That's not really an issue. So to wrap up today's episode, I figured we can rattle off a couple more advancements here. So to get the advanced wafer, we are going to need another machine, which this is not going to give us an advancement, but we can get this put together so that way we can craft up a couple of these wafers, because I imagine those are probably going to be kind of important moving forward. We can make solar panels with them. So yeah, those are going to be pretty helpful here. Anyways, though, now that we have that, we also want to craft up a repeater so that we can make one of these guys. So we need 1 redstone, 2 silicon, and a diamond. So we have just about all of that. We're missing 1 redstone because I miscounted. So let me go grab that real quick. All right, well, let's go ahead and plop these things into this. And that should go there, over to that. And this is going to give us 1 advanced wafer. While that is processing through, I want to go ahead and make a windmill. So let me find the recipe for that because I don't remember it, but it's this guy right here. So we're going to need 8 of these blades, and that should be that. And then we need to surround one of these by an iron, which I don't have again because I miscounted my stuff again. But yeah, there we go. We got our advanced wafer. So now all we need is the ingots, and we can throw together a space station, which we're not going to do right now. But I also want to grab this, which is gasoline. We can grab one of these guys, which is the lubricant. And then the last one that we need is in this machine, which I'm not sure we can grab. No. Okay, maybe we have some in the distillation tower here as well. That would be great. We do have some, and there we go. Cool. Okay, so we got all 3 of those. That's one of our advancements down. And once we get this windmill put together, we should get another 3 of them to pop as well. And there's our 2 advancements. We should have 3. Oh, you know what? No, we're not going to get that one because that is the covered wire, which I don't really care to make, honestly. I keep getting shocked. It's not really that big of an issue. But you know what? That is going to be it for today's episode. We got into age 5. Next episode, we will get a space station put together. I don't know if we have to build it or if it's going to be a pre-built structure, so we'll see how that goes next episode. We'll also have one of these things put together so that we can hopefully find a dungeon that allows us to get a tier 2 rocket put together. But anyways, other than that, that is going to be it for today's episode, so I hope you guys have enjoyed as always, and I will catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching!